knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
I am not an African American.
You're Oreo cookie. White in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro. I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I will slap you.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show. Let me just inform my listeners that this is according to CNN report. Joe Oliver, a friend of Zimmerman, who is a black man, he has spoken up on behalf of his friend George Zimmerman. I saw him last night on Sean Hannity's show. Just a matter of fact kind of a guy, and he's speaking up. He now says that he worried himself about the fact that he's spoken on several media outlets about the case. I now have to be concerned for my safety, not just for myself, but for my friends and my family as well. He went on to say, yeah, I wasn't there. I didn't pull the trigger. All I am doing is standing up for a friend. God bless you, sir. And I know what you're going through because now Joe Oliver, the black man who's standing up for his friend, will be perceived by angry, racist black folks as a sellout, or Uncle Tom. They're going to threaten him as they're doing already, according to him. And his life will never be the same now, because they hate anything that goes against their lives. These racist black people do. All right, Patrick, you have a police report on this.
I do, Jesse, and they released a report. My understanding, they released it. Maybe this was earlier, but I saw it as of yesterday. They released a police report on the Trayvon Martin shooting. I saw it on CNN.com. So CNN has this. All the media has this. And there's some pretty interesting stuff in here. And primarily, I want to focus on one particular point here. You can go to CNN.com, I believe, and get that right off their website. Let's see. This was in the police report as one of the officers was filling out. It looks like Ricardo Ayala, it appears to be. This is after he came and was looking at the whole scene, of course, after the shooting, the police officer came. While I was in such close contact with Zimmerman, I could observe from his back that his back appeared to be wet and he was covered in grass, as if he had been laying on his back on the ground. Zimmerman was also bleeding from the nose and the back of his head, the policeman report. While the SFD is some kind of person who was attending to Zimmerman,
right.
Somebody helping him out.
Yeah.
I overheard him state, I was yelling for someone to help me, but no one would help me.
Wow.
It's very interesting information because we hear on the tape, some of the 911 tapes, someone screaming out. Of course, Trayvon Martin's people say, oh, that's Trayvon Martin who was screaming. And, I think George's friend said it was George.
And there's an eyewitness, a guy that lives there. He said that he was standing at the door. He heard the scream.
There was an eyewitness too, yeah.
And he saw this guy on top of George.
Yeah, he did. So clearly it sounds like George was the guy who was yelling.
Yes.
And if the police report coming from the officer himself here is saying, not if, it is, I'm reading it, saying that I could observe his back appeared to be wet, covered in grass. Clearly that points to the man being on his back, being pummeled, not being the pummeler.
Right.
Zimmerman was also bleeding. Again, this is a police report, not someone else talking about it. From the nose and the back of his head. I didn't say here whether his nose was broken. I think I heard that somewhere else. But he clearly says that he was bleeding from his nose and the back of his head. I
read earlier in the second hour, I believe, according to the Miami Herald, and you may have the same report about this boy's criminal record. Do you have that?
I have.
It said Trayvon Martin was suspended from school 3 times in the past year.
Yes.
Last October, he was found with a woman's jewelry.
Yes.
With women's jewelry.
Yeah, and
a screwdriver.
The incident started where a school investigator said they saw him with a surveillance camera. He was in an area that he wasn't supposed to be in. He was hiding and being suspicious. Sounds like George Zimmerman's describing.
This is 17-year-old innocent child pictures that they're showing on the news.
That looks like Obama's son. And then he said, then the school investigator said they saw Trayvon mark up a door with the WTF, stands for what the F, right? The officer said he found Trayvon the next day, went through his book bag in search of the marker. He was looking for the graffiti marker so he could prove that he wrote WTF. Instead, he found he found woman's jewelry and a screwdriver that he described as a burglary tool. They found 12 pieces of jewelry in his backpack, in addition to a watch, large flathead screwdriver, and rings and things like that as well.
And marijuana, traces of marijuana.
Traces of marijuana in a bag. That was
had a marijuana pipe.
Different situation, but same school.
But no, he's so innocent. Look like Obama's child.
Couldn't hurt
Back
a fly.
in a moment. Country and Western Day is Tuesday. I am enjoying that. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. The Smoking Gun. This is from The Smoking Gun. Trayvon Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, has filed 2 applications to secure trademarks containing her son's name. She wants trademarks for I Am Trayvon and Justice for Trayvon. What a shame. I mean, did they even put the body in the ground yet? Yeah. What a shame. That's what this is all about. I've lost all respect for his parents.
Yeah.
The fact that they joined forces, Patrick, with these vigilantes, and the fact that they're just using their own son's name for their own personal gain.
I was thinking the same thing. I feel nothing for the parents now. And they had a lot of goodwill. In a normal situation, contrary to what a lot of the racists and the Sharptons like to say, the average American has no ill will towards Black Americans and wants to see them succeed and wants to have a country that works together. And they were happy to be on the side of the parents. But when you start pulling stuff like this, here's another example of really no shame at the death and just using it. Our illustrious resident in Barack Obama, his campaign is now putting hoodies on sale on his campaign website.
Are you serious?
Go to theblaze.com and you can see that. Obama campaign puts hoodies on sale.
I told you guys Obama acted stupidly when he spoke out about this.
Yeah, they're using it. If anybody, and I heard a local host today say, "Oh, he's defending Obama." He wouldn't. Why is he? Would he not using this for a political purpose? Of course, he's using it for political purposes, and they're totally going for it. So yeah, Obama, no shame in his game. Let me run into a news story here called "Was Trayvon Martin a drug dealer?" I don't know if he was, and there's no evidence necessarily he was. But let's take the evidence that we know he was apparently a drug user. Right? He had the baggie of empty baggie marijuana with some residue.
According to the Miami Herald.
Okay,
he was suspended 3 times from school.
Well, there's interesting things. First of all, let's take this at the very basic first. I'm looking at the picture here, Jesse. Okay, what does this picture show to you, Andre?
I know they're showing a bad white guy or Hispanic and a little innocent Obama-looking like child.
Okay, so they show this picture of this guy who several years ago, where he was still kind of an innocent, fresh-faced kid. This is the picture that's been shown to us over and over and over. And next to him is the big, bad, half-white man in the prison jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're starting to see a different picture. I saw a picture, Kelly, your show producer, showed me a picture of Zimmerman yesterday in a regular outfit. Looks clean. He looks normal.
Sure does.
Okay, he's like a normal Hispanic-looking guy.
Yep.
Trayvon Martin, a picture, if you go to Drudge or anywhere like that, today you'll see it. This guy had a grill on his front teeth, Trayvon Martin. He had a grill. He had tattoos. This guy had tats on his arms. Do you know that? Most people don't know that.
Yep, I saw that yesterday.
Also, interestingly enough, the lawyer, because this guy was suspended apparently several times, and I'm going to get to, if I get a chance, talk a little bit about his Facebook and stuff that was shown there. His Facebook has been erased, but there's old kind of like people are going through like Google cache type of thing and finding some of his Facebook, Twitter stuff.
Yes.
His school records, this guy must be Obama's son. I just figured it out. Look, listen to this. A lawyer representing Trayvon's family has sealed his school records.
Wow.
He is Obama's son.
His Twitter handle was @NoLimitNigga.
No limit nigga.
A little innocent-looking child.
Yeah, and this little innocent guy, on his Twitter account, there were several allusions to violence. One of his friends posted a supportive message saying how happy they were that Trayvon whooped Zimmerman's A before he died. And another post makes a reference to Trayvon having swung on a bus driver
Really?
a few days before he died. He went off on a bus driver, and then somebody named Trey's Big Bruh answered him and was speaking to him and saying, "You ain't tell me you swung on a bus driver." And then it sounds like the guy's trying to counsel Trey by saying, "Don't get slick with me. You only hurt yourself. Real," I can't say S word, "because I always say some much worse." And then he says, "all the way to the grave." And that's kind of weird. The guy sounded like he was trying to counsel the guy to back off and not be such a thug.
It's the deception of the liberal media and these black liberals who are trying to get away with this is overwhelming.
Yeah.
It just shows how wicked they are.
At least one of his top friends, Romario305, is featured making a gang sign towards the camera in a default profile picture. Several of his friends have posted pictures of rolled blunts, big marijuana cigarettes, to Twitter in memorial to Trayvon. There's a picture on there I'm looking at. And now, no evidence of this, but it's interesting that somebody posted to him, I can't say that, a lot of cuss words on here. "Where you at, nigga need a plant." So he's saying, D, where you at, nigga need a plant.
What did the plant refer to marijuana or something?
Well, according to what I'm reading here, unless Trayvon was selling orchids, it seems fairly reasonable to posit that he may have been somewhat well known among his friends for selling marijuana. So anyway, a lot of interesting stuff there. Also, it appears from some of these online stuff that he had there that he really took a liking to a rapper named Corey Miller, a.k.a. C Murder, who was doing life without parole for beating up and shooting to death 16-year-old Stephen Thomas in 2002 at a nightclub in Harvey, Louisiana. Apparently one of his heroes was a rapper named C Murder. Real good guy.
Well, one thing for sure, this guy was not an innocent guy. That's for sure, that they were trying to portray him.
Not an innocent guy.
And I'm glad it's coming out. Let's go to Melissa out of Florida. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Yes.
You're on with Jesse Peterson and Patrick Rooney. Go ahead.
Hello, Melissa.
Hi. How are you?
All is well.
All is well. Same as here. I've been listening to you all talking and not singling out you all. All I want to ask, where's the compassion? A mother lost a son. I'm not here to judge. The judging is not for me. And if I was a mother, I am a mother. And if I lost a child, no matter what, I would like to know really what happened.
Are you talking about the mother that wants a trademark? She's filed for 2 applications for trademark security for her son.
I'm talking about the Trayvon Martin.
This is his mother.
Yeah. These parents, both of them, I think ought to be ashamed of themselves. I have zero compassion for them at this point because they have helped gather around people like Al Sharpton, a rabble mob that's going to go after a man, make him go into hiding so that he doesn't even have the chance to have the U.S. Legal system on his side, make him in fear for his life, knowing that their son was a little thug, presented him like a fresh-faced little angel. They totally misrepresented this situation and causing black folks to go crazy coast to coast. No, I have zero sympathy. Sorry.
Well, that's your opinion of it.
No, that's the truth of it. That's not an opinion.
But wait a minute now. I'm letting you talk, and I'm going to talk. That's the way you all feel. I am black, and I'm proud to be black.
What does that have to do with it, by the way, that you're black?
What it has to do
what does it have to do with it?
It's making it a racial thing when it's not a racial thing.
You made it a racial thing.
No,
it's not a racial thing. You and the President of the United States and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson have made it a racial thing.
She hung up. She ran. But that's how they do. They're cowards. When the truth comes, they run.
Yeah. These people made this whole situation into race. And now they're turning around and saying somebody else is?
Melissa out of Florida ran. I'll take your calls tomorrow. Thanks for calling, folks.
This has been the Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show, produced by Bond Action. To access the full version of this show, visit us on the web at bondaction.org.